In the last lecture, we made sure that we can actually switch between pages, but our application is constantly reloading, and we don't want that. Now we want to make sure that we stay inside the application when clicking on links inside of it. When coming from outside of it and directly entering /new post, obviously it will reload the app if we hit enter. That's just how the internet works. We send a new request, we get a new page. But inside of our application, when we click links, we don't need that behavior because we're inside of it. We can basically prevent the default and make sure no request gets sent and handle that click internally to re-render the page with JavaScript. For that, we need to change our links. Right now we use normal anchor tags, and this is not what we really use when using React Router. There we have a special component we can use, the link component. As the name suggests, link allows us to, you guessed it, create a link. We use this instead of the anchor tag. There we use link, obviously also as a closing tag. Link alone, of course, doesn't do much because we need to tell React Router where this link should lead to. We do this with the to property. The to property in its simplest form is a string, like to/. Now this is essentially kind of the same as aref =/, but React Router will create the anchor tag and then prevent the default, which would be to send a new request and instead handle that click on itself. That is why we need to use link. Now I said in the simplest form to is a /. To can also be a more complex element. It can be a JavaScript object and hence needs to be wrapped in single curly braces to output dynamic content. And then the dynamic content is a JavaScript object, so one more pair of curly braces. And there we can now configure where we want to go to. We can set up a path name property here, which then again is the string where we want to go to, like /new post. But we can also now add a potential hash tag after that, like submit, which I don't have, but this would allow us to then jump to any ID submit we have in that element. So using that feature of appending a fragment after the URL, you might be aware of that. You can simply add hash something after the URL to jump to that point. We can also set up search, and search allows us to add query params like quick submit =true. Now these are all just examples. They won't do anything in this application, but this is some advanced setup we can use to configure where we're going to when clicking this link. With these links implemented now, if we save the application and go back, you will see I'm on /new post now. If I click on home, I go back to home, but you will see that this reload icon actually never spins. The same for new post. And here you also see that query param and the hashtag added to the end. So now we're not actually reloading the page. It looks exactly like before, but now simply React is re-rendering parts of the page which need to be re-rendered. We're not loading a new page. We're not loading that same page again. Of course, when loading the same page again, it's still React rendering the JavaScript to the DOM, but as I said, it will actually reload the page whilst doing that and therefore lose our state. Now our state is contained. We don't reload the application, and this is the way we should actually navigate around, therefore, using the link component.